E-commerce auditing, e-commerce auditing. Everything has gone E. Everything has gone E. It's the last few days we've gone e-government. That all the services now we are able to access them online, electronically. So we want to look at what e-commerce is. We can highlight a few advantages and maybe highlight disadvantages. Then we look at risks. We look at risks associated with this, risks with regard to the client, risks with regard to the auditor, risks with regard to the auditor. So e-commerce, in simple terms, we are saying we are trading online. We are trading online. We are shopping online. We are identifying the commodities that we are buying online, placing orders online, making payments online. Yes, e-payment. Yes, or cashless payments. Then goods, of course, delivered, services are offered. This cannot be done online. It has to be done physically, but everything else happening online. The advantages are we are able to access information 24/7. Even if you woke up at night and you still want to do some shopping, that will be done. So product services are available to the customers online. Plus, entities are able to widen their clientele base. Because if you had a shop in Nairobi, then you only sell to those who are in Nairobi or those who come over to Nairobi. But now you put your wares online, even those who are very far away geographically dispersed can still access the products, place orders, and you do business. So clientele base is able to increase since you get vast clients. Now, disadvantages, we discussed risks. Those are the risks. The disadvantages are the risks. That, for instance, hacking, viral attacks, loss of information, confidentiality, sometimes it's compromised. We even talk of loss of trail, which we'll discuss under risks classified under the auditor, calling it loss of audit trail, because in these there is no proper documentation. There is reduced or no paperwork. So for clients to trace all the transactions that have happened, sometimes there could be some challenges. To an auditor, this is the main challenge, and especially when it comes to any computerization or automation of accounting system, there is an element of loss of trail. We even have issues of competences, issues of competence. In both cases, client and the auditor, that they may be using a software which people on the ground are not well versed with. So you find that you may not even be able to maximize or get the maximum benefit out of a software because you're not well conversant or well versed with it. The same case with auditors. We know even when it comes to CATs, computerized aided audit techniques, sometimes auditors will lack the necessary expertise to apply these CATs. We even have issues of health hazards. Those who use computers, all they know this. As ourselves here, we may not know. But that glaring at the screen for long hours during the day, even the sitting position, yes, unasikia watu wako na backache, headache, eye issues, yes, it has got health implications. We may even have issues with the service providers. Internet ISPs, internet service providers. You may find that they may be facing, for instance, going concern complications. It's a problem when it comes to auditor, because a client may be a going concern entity. But because the internet service provider is facing going concern complication, it affects the going concern of the client. We've ever seen this. Sometimes entities face problems with their internet. It keeps on fluctuating. Then it's a going concern. But their service provider has got issues, and this affects the client directly or indirectly. Matters auditing. Remember the other day we discussed it's a number 520. What was this? Analytical review procedures, yes, which involves comparison. We even said that the client has been existing for some time to facilitate comparison. And the computerized aspect keeps on updating now and then. Yes, hata kwa simu yako unakuta hata saizi ukifungulia utakuta kwa we call corporate store that you have like 18 updates you need to update. So how it has been operating up to date, it changes because there are updates. So when you update now, it stops how you compare, because comparing two different things, you may not get viable results. So that aspect of computerized systems keeps on updating. Then it means that which we prepared 3 months ago could not be the same as what you're preparing now, because the systems has changed. So performing some standard audit procedures like analytical review procedures may not yield viable results. Those are some of the challenges we face when it comes to e-commerce. Let me check where I have those notes. E-commerce auditing. E-commerce auditing. So, e-commerce auditing is broadly defined. E-commerce auditing is broadly defined. E-commerce auditing is broadly defined as the use of computer networks. Broadly defined as the use of computer networks in handling business transactions. Use of computer networks in handling business transactions, i.e., trading through the internet, trading through the internet. Full stop. Another paragraph says, when a business is involved in buying and selling, of goods, and exchanging of information, buying and selling of goods and exchanging of information through the internet, then it is said to be involved in e-commerce trading. Then it is said to be involved in e-commerce trading. It is said to be involved in e-commerce trading. Full stop. Another paragraph says, such business may have various advantages. Such business may have various advantages to the client's entity, and their customers may have various advantages to the client's entity and their customers. E.g., number one, reduction of business costs. of processing and distribution, reduction of business costs of processing and distribution, or retrieving of information, or retrieving of information, or retrieving of information. So processing and distribution or retrieving of information. We know this because when it's online, you just click, you touch, you want to see the features of a product, just click it, the price, the availability. You are able to get all this. It becomes very easy. Number two, enabling such entities, enabling such entities, enabling such entities to access their customers, enabling such entities to access their customers globally, to access their customers globally, to access their customers globally, thereby creating efficiency, thereby creating efficiency in their operations, enabling such entities to access their customers globally, thereby creating efficiency in their operations, thereby creating efficiency in their operations. Acha lines ngapi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hereby creating efficiency in the operation. Number three, allowing their customers and consumers, allowing their customers and consumers, allowing their customers and consumers to get customized products and services, allowing their customers and consumers to get customized products and services, to get customized products and services, to get customized products and services. Yes, because you have all the time to check whatever suits you, or even to place orders depending on your personal specifications. All right, skip a line and say, such businesses may have various challenges. Such businesses may have various challenges in form of risks, may have various challenges in form of risks, including the following: may have various challenges in form of risks, including the following: various challenges in form of risks, including the following. Now, these are risks that can be discussed with regard to the client. With regard to the client, number one, possibilities of systems breakdown, possibilities of systems breakdown, possibilities of systems breakdown, since such entities, possibilities of systems breakdown, since such entities depend wholly, possibilities of systems breakdown, since such entities depend wholly on information technology, depend wholly on information technology, depend wholly on information technology, which may create going concern problems. Since such entities depend wholly on information technology, which may create going concern problems, which may create going concern problems, which may create going concern problems. Number two, possibilities of rapid spread, possibilities of rapid spread, possibilities of rapid spread of computer viruses, possibilities of rapid spread of computer viruses, which could create loss of information, rapid spread of computer viruses, which could create loss of information or cause systems failure, which could create loss of information or cause systems failure, which could create loss of information or cause systems failure Number 3, such businesses have to depend on the internet service providers. Such businesses have to depend on the internet service providers. Such businesses have to depend on internet service providers, into brackets, ISPs, into brackets, ISPs. And if such ISPs are facing problems, such as going concern issues, this may affect the client entity's operations. 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 May affect the client's entities operations. May affect the client entities operations. Just a second to check on the sound. Kazungu here. All right, hope now the sound is better. So we are doing point number 4 now. Number 4, confidentiality issues. Confidentiality issues. Confidentiality issues, say, data which may be commercially sensitive, data which may be commercially sensitive, data which may be commercially sensitive, may be accessed by hackers. Data which may be commercially sensitive may be accessed by hackers who may perpetrate fraud on the client's entity. Data which may be commercially sensitive may be accessed by hackers who may perpetrate fraud on the client's entity. Data which may be commercially sensitive may be accessed by hackers who may perpetrate fraud on the client's entity. Next, integrity of information. 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 Write and say, whenever information is held, whenever information is held by electronic means, whenever information is held by electronic means, whenever information is held by electronic means, such information can easily be corrupted. Such information can easily be corrupted. Such information can easily be corrupted or lost can easily be corrupted or lost. If the course of the business can easily be corrupted or lost in the course of the business, easily corrupted or lost in the course of the business. Number 6, health and safety issues, health and safety issues, health and safety issues for employees, health and safety issues for employees, health and safety issues for employees, right? And say, such business requires employees, such businesses require employees to be continuously exposed, requires employees to be continuously exposed to computer screens, to be continuously exposed to computer screens, continuously exposed to computer screens, and this may cause health problems. And this may cause health problems to the employees. This may cause health problems to the employees, may cause health problems to the employees. All right, number next, lack of audit trail, 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 say, in such businesses, in such businesses, paper tracing of all transactions, paper tracing of all transactions is normally reduced. Paper tracing of all transactions is normally reduced, creating challenges for important information, creating challenges for important information, creating challenges for important information, creating challenges for important information. Number 8, the employees of such entities, the employees of such entities, the employees of such entities may lack appropriate technical skills. The employees of such entities may lack appropriate technical skills for handling their systems. The employees of such entities may lack appropriate technical skills for handling their systems, may lack appropriate technical skills for handling their systems, for handling their systems. So those are risks associated with the client, risks associated with the client. Subtopic, challenges, stroke risks, challenges, stroke risks faced by auditors, challenges, stroke risks faced by auditors, challenges, stroke risks faced by auditors, faced by auditors. Number 1, auditors may be faced with problems. Auditors may be faced with problems. Auditors may be faced with problems of lack of technical expertise. Auditors may be faced with problems of lack of technical expertise dealing with such we can call them dealing with such clients. Auditors may be faced with problems of lack of technical expertise dealing with such clients, Number 2, auditors may be faced with problems. Auditors may be faced with problems. Auditors may be faced with problems of going concern issues, problems of going concern issues, problems of going concern issues affecting their clients, going concern issues affecting their clients, going concern issues affecting their clients. That's what I had explained that. You're not facing going concern problem, but our service provider is facing going concern. This affects us directly or indirectly. So when you're reporting, is the client a going concern entity or not? So that's what you're saying, maybe face the problems of going concern issues affecting their client. Next. Auditors may not be able to perform some standard procedures. Auditors may not be able to perform some standard procedures. Auditors may not be able to perform some standard procedures. Auditors may not be able to perform some standard procedures, such as analytical review, such as analytical review, because such systems change rapidly, because such systems change rapidly. Next, they are also faced with problems. Of lack of audit trail. They are also faced with problems of lack of audit trail. They are also faced with problems of lack of audit trail when dealing with such systems. Lack of audit trail when dealing with such systems. Lack of audit trail when dealing with such systems. And those are the four main challenges that the auditor faces. There is one question that has been specifically set to discuss or to cover what you just answered. I'll share with you. We look at it. It is a question on risks. It's a question on E. It's a question on E, going E. It's a question on allow me to share all the past papers there, because I'm seeing yes, there it is. So leave around page number 1. That's June 2013. Move to December 2012, question number 1. So it's in page 2. There's page 1, page 2. It's an 18 pages document. So page number 1, I believe we've answered something there sometimes. Yeah. Page number 1, we answered the questions on audit risk, on auditor's report. Now check page number 2. December 2020, December 2012. Question number 1. I think that's one of the questions that is yes. So let me read it for you. Mwananchi Commercial Bank Limited, that's question number 1A. Mwananchi Commercial Bank NCB Limited is a large and well-established bank with 8 branches in the country of domicile. Your audit firm was reappointed. The auditors of the bank for the year ended at 1st October 2012. George Bwire is the audit manager in charge of the audit of NCB Limited. The internal audit for the year ended that 1st October 2012 commenced April 1st, 2012. During the interim audit, the auditors noted that NCB Limited had gradually changed its accounting system from manual system to a computerized system as follows. 4 branches were fully computerized. 2 branches were in the process of being fully computerized. 2 branches operated a manual system. George Bwire assessed the bank risks as follows. Number 1, the 4 branches which were fully computerized were less risky because the internal control system in place was working as intended. In addition, the employees of these branches were computer literate. Number 2, the 2 branches which were in the process of being computerized in the current year were more risky. This was because the internal control system of these branches had changed substantially and therefore needed greater focus. In addition, the computerized environment was new to the employees and they needed training in the operations of the computerized system. Number 3, the 2 branches which were operating a manual system were less risky. This was due to the fact that there were no changes in the internal control system and the working environment. Further, George Bwire had knowledge of the operations of these branches. George Bwire completed the interim audit on 30th April 2012 and is now planning for the final audit of the financial year ended October 1st, 2012. On the basis of previous year's experience, he has decided that the level of materiality will remain at 1 million Kenya shillings, the same as that of the previous year. George Bwire has, however, noticed the following. The bank has introduced internet banking and telebanking. The bank has opened a new branch. The 2 branches which are operating manually at the time of the interim audit has been fully computerized. Then new legislation related to anti-money laundering has been enacted in the country, which requires all banks to have an anti-money laundering program in place and the auditors to report on such transactions. Loans on the deposits of the bank have increased by 20%, which is a substantial change compared to the last year required. Assess the audit risks caused by the changes in Mwananchi Commercial Bank Limited and their possible impact on the level of materiality. 10 marks. 10 marks. 10 marks. So it's a question on risks. Question on risks. You can see the bank introduced the e-banking. It's e-banking, electronic banking. Yes, what do you think about that question? It's the same brain that I was telling you. Sometimes audit risks are not the audit risks that we run, because you may struggle looking for inherent risks around. You may struggle looking for control risks around, some detection risk, and you're not able to trace them. You see how the examiner has framed this question: audit risks posed by the changes. Now they have changed the question. It's audit risk, but look into the changes that have happened. So the risks we are looking at are risks arising as a result of the changes. The risks that are arising as a result of the changes. All right. And as per the marks dictate, we only have 5 changes that have happened. Where are these changes happening? Check right after George Buda assessed the bank risks as follows: 1, 2, 3, 4. Then George Buda has, however, noticed the following. George Buda has noticed the following. It's okay. It's okay. So George Buda has noticed the following: that the bank introduced internet banking and telebanking. That's one of those are the changes that have happened. So we need to discuss risks guided by those changes. So number 1, on matters internet banking and telebanking, what risks? Let me read the question again. Yes, sometimes you need to make reference to the questions. Assess the audit risks posed by the changes of that limited and the so generally risks, not with regard to the auditor, not with regard to the client. Assess the audit risks posed by the changes in 1 Commercial Bank Limited and 4 possible impacts on the level of materiality. So the risk that you're able to identify. So number 1, internet banking, telebanking, what do you think?
Because of the changes, there is a risk of error, especially for the 2 branches that had the employees who did not have skills.
Yeah, there's some branches that you didn't have, the employees did not have some skills. Hmm? Yeah, I see there's somewhere we'll fix that. There's somewhere we'll fix that because item number 3, the 2 branches which are operating manually at the time of the interim audit, they've been fully computerized. Yeah, that one will fit squarely there. It's a very valid point there. That's very correct. Item number 3. For item number 1, issue of internet banking and telebanking. Possibilities of hacking. Actually, those are the answers, the ones we've written today. The ones we've written today. All those will appear here as item number 1. Let me see what else. Yes, systems failure. I'm even told about what is yes, the issue of system failure. So basically, the points that we have discussed today will feature so well under item number 1. So the risk will include system failure, the issues of hacking, we've been told, we've been told issues of viral attacks. There's somebody answering here, Moline, issues to do with confidentiality of customers' data. You see, hackers may access the systems and obtain clients' data. That's very true. Yes, confidentiality. Confidentiality of customers' data, you see? Perfect. That's how I wanted you to handle that thing. Yes, that's how I wanted you to handle that. And so you see, it's very practical. Those are the answers you give under item number 1. We discuss a lot of them. All those points apply here. Yes, you have to relate. But you see, just by mentioning this, it's aligning to the case study, because what they have done, they are computerizing. They told the bank have introduced internet banking. So internet banking, it's going E. We are going E. So there's query even without much explanation. But of course, here you need to explain, because this number one should earn you 2 marks. But you have your spoiled of points. You have lots of them to discuss that they can arise. Good. Number 2, tell me the risk we are exposed to the sort of opening a new branch. Now it is as per the case study. They have opened a new branch. Is there a risk? Is there a risk associated to expansion? Yeah, good. Which risks are these? Because I believe there are several of them. Opening new branches. They have opened a new branch. Naivas has dominated in Naivasha. Now they have how many branches in Naivasha? 3. Yes. The Naivas small, the Naivas kubwa, na hii nyingine wamejenga hapa before ufike Naivasha ukitoka Nairobi. Sasa enda upeleke kasupa kako pale. Na Naivas is Naivasha. Which risks are you exposed to? New branch. I'm being told, can one say risk of business failure branch? That's very correct. That's very correct. Because you are meeting already established businesses. There's a risk. One, we've seen businesses opening and closing down before they even see the light of the day. It's true. You may fail. You may fail even to take off. Yes, there's a risk that you may not even recover the IO. We used to call it IO. We used to call it IO in FF. Was this initial capital outlay? What was it? Yeah. So it's harmless. It's harmless. It's harmless. Don't worry. Yes. Yeah. Risk of not recovering. Failure to recover. Failure to recover. Initial capital outlay. Yes. Yes. New branch. Yeah, there's another one I was told here. Failure to take off, or risk of failure. Yes, we may take off, but no sooner we take off, you find yourself crossing down. Risk of failure or crossing down. Risk of stiff competition. Stiff competition from already existing and well-established branches, banks for that matter. Banks, Honor family are saying, intense, yeah, that's what actually getting here from Olin, intense competition. Let me see whether there's somewhere we can fix the element of non-performing loans. Yeah, this will capture in the last point, that loans and deposits of the bank increased. Otherwise, if that was not there, we would have fixed it here. because in a new environment, then you don't know these clients so well. And primary role of a bank is to receive deposits and give loans. So they are likely to encounter non-performing loans. That will come later. That will come later. We agree with point number 2. Point number 3, we are told the 2 branches which were operating manually at the time of interim audit have been fully computerized. Yeah, that one now we can discuss the point we've been given here. The issue of lack of competent staff to handle computerized environment. There's a way you had put it. There's a way you had mentioned it. I think it can come along as a different point. Or because they do not understand?
They do not understand it.
Or they do not understand, or it's still the element of not understanding the computerized systems. Yes, because of lack of competence, again, the same issues of misstatements of financial statements may arise because they may lack we're being told here that there is issues of skills every time a manual branch has been computerized. So lack of staff to handle the environment, leading to, yes, we can put it here, leading to misstatements in the records. Misstatements in the records. Misstatements in the records. Yeah, we discussed that. That's true. Eh? We discussed that in the inherent risks. If you recall the explanation that was there when we talked of high management turnover rate, it's that transition that you have replacing some people. So replacing systems, true. Yes, transition. Transition may give way to material misstatements. If there is no proper supervision, somebody will input something to their advantage. If a debtor owed you 1.2 million, you record 200,000 during transition. So you know that they will pay you the balance. Yes, it's you. Good. I now see that you are able now to relate this. You're able to relate this. Let's look at number 4. We look at number 4. Number 4, we are told so I'm trying to expand. New legislation relating to anti-money laundering has been enacted in the country, which requires all banks to have an anti-money laundering program in place and auditors to report on such transactions. I told you what the risk is this. It is in your notes. Right after the tabulation of risk, right after we discussed risks, the last thing we wrote, if you can check in your notes, I don't know whether you have it. After that tabulation of risks, ni za kitambo, risks zilisomwa kitambo, hizo hauna. Yeah. Detection risk will also be assessed to be high when Number one, when auditing an environment which is not accounting in nature, e.g., environmental audit, engagement report. We may need to engage experts. Number two, auditing an accounting environment, but with newly introduced concepts. Newly introduced concepts. When auditing a computerized environment, i.e., either partially or wholly computerized, as a result of loss of trail. So number two and number three applies. You see, anti-money laundering is an accounting in nature, but you see it has just been introduced. Yeah, because we read it, deception relating to anti. Anything you're reporting on something new, there is issue. If I give you an example of yourself, when like in your AFR, teacher introduces a new topic, that day you may find it difficult to balance a question, but after you practice over time, the fourth example you are likely to balance with ease, because it has just been introduced. You may not get all the concepts right, and you may face challenges in balancing it, only to be able to balance it at a later stage. Good. So that's what we capture here. That money laundering being a new concept in auditing, new concept in the bank, being a new concept in the banking industry, the auditor may face detection risk. May face detection risk. Actually, the other detection risk should have been discussed. The other detection risk may have discussed. This point number three, that two branches which are operating manually at the time of interim audit had been fully computerized. That computerization, detection risk due to computerization of branches which previously operated manually. It's a very strong point there. Detection risk due to computerization of branches which previously operated manually. So here you're saying of money laundering being a new concept in the banking industry, the auditor may face detection risk, inability to detect, because you're not conversant, you're not well versed with, you're doing it for the first time, you're doing it for the first time. 10, don't think there's something else you can mention there. Photo, regulatory breaches.
It's a new concept for them.
Yeah, regulatory breach, you can see it as a risk because it may come along with some fines, some penalties. Yeah, it's true. That's a very strong one. Hiyo sikuwa nimeiona kabisa. Yeah. So us not being able us being faced with detection risk, this now exposes the client as to regulatory breach through R&L regulatory breach, which may which exposes the client to risks of fines and penalty due to non-compliance. So Kimpango, this is compliance risks. Compliance risk may arise. Compliance risk may arise because the one who is expected to offer expertise advice is not conversant. You saw what we had, the issues we had with the Finance Act of 2023. I remember I carried corporate training of guys from Stima Circle. Yes, Stima Circle engaged us to train them on the Finance Act 2023. I'm not an exception. I'm a Kenyan. They were very new to me. So you get what I'm saying. But of course, I trained. I wanted that extra $1. But we are almost at par. It's very new to me. It's very new to them. They want to know what's happening. So that's how Brit may arise. So I trained them as my understanding because there was no other source of information. There was no other source of information. So that's very practical. That's very practical. Thanks for that input. So that's how you look at it. That's how you look at it. Number 4. Or it's number 5. Number 5. Loans and deposits. I had mentioned about the issues of risk of rise. Risk of rise in non-performing loans. Non-performing loans. Risk of rise in 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 non-performing loans. What else is likely to happen? What are the risks? If loans and deposits are increasing by 20%, which is a substantial change compared to the last year. Deposit increasing, is there a risk? Which risk? That's an opportunity. Yes, yeah. That's an opportunity. It's not a risk. There's no way it can be a risk because their liquidity will be enhanced. Yes, they'll have more to loan out, so earning them interests. That's not a risk. I'm not seeing any other risk unless somebody is able to identify something. Oh, Absa is saying that impact on the bottom line to the expected rise on ECL provisions on non-performing loans. Moses Otieno, ECL abbreviates? Yes? Or expected credit loss in Lugha banking. Expected credit loss. So you're saying impact on the bottom line to the expected rise on expected credit loss provisions on non-performing loans. Yes, expected credit loss on non-performing. It's true. I've gotten his reasoning. Because even in normal trading businesses, when debtors rise, the provisions for bad and doubtful debts also rises, affecting the bottom line. I see it. I see it now. I see it very well. Yeah, risk that the PBT, risk that the PBT will be negatively affected by the rise in the provisions for bad and doubtful debts. Utilize in, we can use these banking terms now that we are learning, that myself I'm learning now, expected credit loss. Hey, that one cannot fit the way I've placed it here. Yes, lies in loan uptake. increase in loans uptake. It's true. That's how auditors reason out, that if debtors have increased, we expect a similar shoot. Yes, you see how those 10 marks will be earned? Yes, but again, we've not answered the whole question. We're yet to complete the whole question because you're told, and the possible impact on the level of materiality. Their possible impact on the level of materiality. I'm leaving required. Assess the audit risks posed by the changes in Wananchi Commercial Bank Limited and their possible impact on the level of materiality. Previously in the question, we were told that the materiality level was at 1 million, but the auditors have chosen not to adjust it. Do you agree with this, or how do you think we should adjust this now that the client is exposed to all these risks? Now that the client is exposed to all these risks, how do we retain it at 1 million, or we adjust it how, downwards or upwards? What do you think should happen? We adjust it? How should we adjust this materiality? Okay, adjust downwards. Downwards, eh? What do you think? Okay, clear. How should it be adjusted? Let me tell you what our online family are telling us. Material should be adjusted downwards due to more risks. It should be adjusted by the same margin. We need to adjust materiality level downwards, i.e. reduce the level from 1 million to less than 1 million. That's Moses clarifying on what they mean by downwards. Yes, so that emphasis is very important because from where I'm standing, nikakwambia uende kujisaidia chini. Ushaielezea mtu hivyo, teremka. Anaenda saidi tofauti. Juu kunalingana na mahali yako, naangalia kuteremka ni aje. So this clarification by Moses is very correct. That reduce the level from 1 million to less than 1 million. So it's downwards to less than 1 million. So that's very true. Yes, that's very true. Because what will happen, let's say we have reduced it to 400,000. What it means, we have increased the materiality brackets because of the more risks. So the more the risks, the wider the one material bracket. It's similar to what we reason out in Ether 530, that the more the risks, the larger the sample size. So by reducing this to 400, it means what previously was regarded as immaterial now is material because of the more risks that now we are exposed to as compared to the previous assessment, as compared to the previous assessment. That's a beautiful question. That's a beautiful question. So actually, on the same breadth of risks, kuna assignment hapa utaenda kufanya. Tabia uniangalilie, we will look at it on Saturday, June 2013, question number 4. Yes? That's 10 weeks. Yes. 10 marks. No, 10 marks is everything from where we started to here. All that was 10 marks. So go check. You realize now the relevance of all the notes we wrote on risks. Go try June 2013, question number 4. Ukisoma tu swali utaona ni kama umesoma notes zetu. The way we wrote them. It will be very interesting to answer it. You realize you have all those answers. So kindly go attempt that one. This other part B, maybe you can just look at it. Part B of the question you just answered, just look at it. Z Company Limited operates a chain of supermarkets. The internal audit department, Z Company Limited, is centralized at the head office, whereas it undertakes the internal audit functions for the head office it only performs regular inventory counts in the branches. Describe the additional assignments that the internal audit department could undertake in the branches. Question on internal audit is a 3 marks question. Internal auditors hakuna kazi wafanyagi. Hata ukiperis papers kuanzia mwaka kukuja hivi sasa, utakuta ingine nilikwambia inauliza kuhusu Muro Hotels. Ati inauliza 10 marks, internal auditor afanye kazi gani? Si ni kazi zozote. Hapo wataangalia mambo ya internal audit, wataangalia mambo ya internal control systems. Actually haijatajwa hapa, and that's their primary duty as per ISA 610. Yes, they will review the internal control systems. Whatever will they do? They will even do head counting of employees at the branch level. What was the additional expense internal department could undertake? You see, it's an open question. What else could they undertake? So tumesema mambo ya ICS, tumesema mambo ya head counting, tumesema mambo ya pricing commodities. Wanaangalia shelves, pricing imefanywa namna gani? Wanaangalia hata mambo ya customer care service, vile inafanywa. Wataangalia hata mambo ya cash handling. Cash handling inakuwa handled namna gani? Watu unaona the service providers, G4S and what have you, how they come and correct money at any point. Hiyo pia wataangalia. Wataangalia pia POS, how is it's being handled. Wataangalia even how supervision of employees is being done. Wataangalia even lawyers. Yes, what was very likely to do inakuwa open. It's a 3 marks question. So the internal audit inakuwa 3 marks question. Atikuulizwa internal auditor afanye kazi gani? Nilikwambia akiletwa hapa, hata atakuja akae hapa chini kama mwanafunzi. Unajua kasi ndio unafanyaga hivyo. Saa zingine wanatuma mtu wao akae kama mwanafunzi. Iko mtihani. Yes. Unaona vile kunafanyika. So unauliza mtu question number 5. Kumbe unauliza mtu wa kazi. Yes. So hapa atakuja kuangalia vile timetable imefanywa na KCE, wataangalia fees, wataangalia CV za walimu, because remember that you can't give what you don't have. Wataangalia CV za walimu, wataangalia what else, wataangalia content, what do I want to say? Yes, content delivery. Internal audit wanafanya kazi yoyote. They perform, of course, ISA 610 and IIA, they say that the work of an internal auditor is to appraise ICS as a service to the management. Plus, the advice on the 3 E's, economy, efficiency, effectiveness. That's the definition. But we know they perform any other delegated function. Beautiful. Sawa. I'm happy that we have covered that. So ende uniangalilie hiyo ingine, hiyo yenye tumesema. On Saturday, utaona hata topic to be covered itaandikwa broke release. Because it will be a moment of questions and answers. Which year? Ni the same question yenye tumejibu part B. The same question ya e-commerce ya Mwananchi Commercial Bank part B. Part B. Nitaachia hapo. Mahali nimeenda hospitali niliandikiwa sindano 5. So leo naenda ya 3. So let me go and receive my justice. I hope on Saturday I'll be so good. I'll have received my last job on Friday. So thank you for coming. Thank you, Celine. I'll be good. I'll be good. Let's say the grace. Now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Kindly check through last year's past papers. You told me you've checked all of them. They have some technicalities here and there. A lot of them. All right. Every one of us, let's purpose to check through last year's papers. December, August through April. I'm here to assist. I'll not dictate answers. Let's answer them very fast, so that we answer as many questions as possible. We answer as many questions. The only question I give answers is on correction of errors. It's one of its kind. It has only been tested once. So I'll show you how to correct errors. That one, we'll do it on the whiteboard. But these others, let's answer them. Let me just show you how to handle them so fast. I believe that will be fine. That will be fine. So see, we check contrast sitting. This is G karaoke. That's a good idea. That's where we start. That's where we start karaoke. That's where we start karaoke. The content? A section that I will not cover. I'll give you some. It has never been tested, and I can tell you it will never be tested. I'll show you which one. It has never been tested, and it will never be tested. Custom has got a tendency of every other time they review the syllabus to put some things which are relevant. But I'll give you something at least. I'll mention something so that you have an idea. Luckily enough, you've done them in financial reporting. Like if I talk of banks, it's IS number 30. Cooperatives, I'll mention something. Insurance companies, commission ceded, commission accepted. We'll mention something about them, but we don't even have a single question to make reference to. And they're almost doing the change of the syllabus again. Yes. So it's only that bit. Thank you for that concern. Thank you for that concern. We'll check through. And we audit ourselves. I think it should be used to audit ourselves to see what we've covered, what could be missing. Then I could mention something. Because now we are qualified auditors. We start by auditing ourselves. We start by auditing